Obviously, we saw the Jimmy Kimmel stuff last week. And I want to say the Jimmy Kimmel stuff is interesting on a few different levels. And I'm not here to tell you what party you're supposed to vote for. Okay, just going to start that because everything right now is, well, what party do you vote for? And Jimmy Kimmel was taken off the air. He made a comment. I wouldn't even call it a joke, but essentially what he said was that the president was using Kirk's death as a springboard to score more points with his base.
He made an observation.
100%. And
yeah.
If you actually watch the clip that he's referring to with Trump goes on to talk about like the renovations to the Rose Garden that he's put concrete over.
He's putting in a ballroom.
100%.
The biggest ballroom you've ever seen.
So essentially what's happened is the FCC chair goes on a conservative podcast the next day. FCC is the federal regulatory board for radio and television in the States, right? And it's funny that he went
on our CRTC, right?
100%. Yeah, we get the CRTC here. It's funny that he went on a podcast because they're not federally regulated. But as the FCC chair, he went on a podcast and said, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And the hard way turned out to be threatening one of the local carriers, which is Nexstar, which is trying to go through a $6 billion merger right now, and saying, we will not approve this merger if you don't take him off the air. So what did they do? Well, Jimmy Kimmel, $6 billion. I'll take the $6 billion, please. And so they dropped him. There's another broadcast company called St. Clair, owned by an extraordinarily heavily right family group that is like, he needs to make an apology and a donation.
The St. Clair family, yeah.
So what does this mean? What does this really mean, right? Because, there might be people listening to the show going, good, I hated Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have an opinion. Like I'm a pretty normal person. There's some stuff that I'm conservative about. There's some stuff I'm liberal about. And I look at this, Jax, and I go, okay, we all know that this is strong arming. Mm-hmm. We all know this is suppression of speech and jokes and that sort of thing. But what really happened here? Because to me, that Jimmy Kimmel line didn't go viral. I hadn't heard it. When I saw it come up on my Instagram, they're like, because of what Jimmy Kimmel said. And none of
I was waiting to hear what
what did he say?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it. I didn't even see it. And our job is to follow this stuff and be like, oh man, that was a crazy joke. That's walking the line or whatever.
It didn't seem anything out of the ordinary of just like political commentary. That's like usually in the opening of these shows. Like it just didn't seem out of the ordinary.
And it occurred to me and in your life, and I know we did mornings for a long time, so it pulls you out of the late night game, but like, did you ever watch late night shows ever? Letterman, Leno, Fallon, Colbert, Kimmel, Conan O'Brien, Craig Ferguson, any of them?
I would watch
like
clips.
Regularly.
I would watch clips in the next morning, but not like properly, no.
Right. Because no one does.
Okay, so are you saying that it's a full ratings thing?
I think what happens here, I think this is a generational divide thing. Because I feel like here's what's going on here. They've created this. If they had let that go, it would have passed into the night. Nobody would have said anything. But because the joke was directly at the guy in charge, and the guy in charge happens to be in his 80s, and the guy in charge happened to grow up watching late night shows and wanting to appear on these late night shows and made multiple appearances on these late night shows, now it's a thing. But I can tell you, anybody under the age of 50 is not watching these shows.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So it's not like, he was canceled because of his ratings. Like Trump did focus on this because it matters to him and his generation. Yeah.
I don't think it matters to young people. I don't think people care.
I think I've heard people say far worse and like and like far worse on TikTok and like usually bang on. And no, it's not a big thing. Like you hear it all the time. Jimmy Kimmel saying it on that platform for that demo of people though, that would ruffle Trump the wrong way. So that's right. Yeah.
There's 400 million people in the United States, right? 400 million.
Yeah.
5 million max watch this show.
Yeah.
That's a great number. It's a huge number. But 5 million? But 400 million?
But he's using...
I think this was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because I think that they believe that Jimmy might be the voice of the left or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I watched a Jimmy Kimmel clip and was like, man, that was great. And it's not that he's not great. It's just not for me.
But bullies aren't logical.
Okay.
Right? He's a bully. Like Donald Trump is a bully.
Sure.
And he's not logical. And when you are that level of angry and like that level of a dictator, you're going after anybody who upsets you. And that's the big guy. That's the small guy. That's, look at like childhood bullies. Like do they actually go after people who've hurt them, or it's anybody? It's anybody in their path. Anybody in their
won't
path.
Stand up. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's anybody. It's just nonsensical. So yesterday, Donald Trump said he was going to cure autism today. So I'm waiting for that update.
Yes, that would be the Tylenol update.
You can't. There's no logic with this man. Whether it's him saying things for the good or for the bad, or canceling, or he is nonsensical. So I think that's a very good point about saying that
I just think
it matters more to him. Yeah.
Yeah. He took out a guy that like no one was really watching below a certain level. And by the way, that age group is getting higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Right. The young voters that they're supposedly doing so well in, they're not watching Kimmel.
But
late night TV is not the thing it used to be.
But
right?
look at we saw how it ended up, but like he didn't want TikTok. There's too many, there's too many loud voices on there. That didn't work out, and then he played it in his favor. However, now he's going so it's whatever platform, I guess he's able to he's also able to control. Like,
right. Yeah. And I think obviously with the sale of TikTok, they're going to be able to control a lot better. I just think it's interesting. And
that's really valid.
I thought it was worth mentioning because there's and this is I want people who are on the conservative side of the aisle and people on the liberal side of the aisle to come together on this one point, right? Americans have freedom of speech. We have freedom of expression, right? Both countries have enshrined in their Constitution and in their Charter of Rights the freedom of the press, right? That's all part of it. That's Amendment 1 on the Constitution for the United States. What is interesting about this is that a lot of what you're seeing shared on both sides, I think there's one side more than the other. A lot of what you're seeing shared is not real. And I really want to bring this back to, and this is going to sound very 2016 of me. Remember whenever it was like the whole thing, well, Russia infiltrated Facebook and they were able to throw a bunch of memes up and then people got divided and that's how we're ended in this spot, right? That is actually real. And it's surprising how little information there is on it. Did you know that if you're still on X/Twitter, upwards of 64% of the accounts there are fake?
Yeah, that's why I'm not on it. It's a piece of trash. Like,
it's terrible. The only reason I'm still on it is live sports.
And I was going to say they have sports and a lot of videos in sports you can't get on other platforms,
100%.
right? And they come out pretty quick. Yeah.
So that's the thing is it's irreplaceable
Hockey,
when it comes to sport. Yeah,
racing.
It is. And the season's right around the corner. But what's amazing is that what will happen with these troll farms is, let's say, so a lot of these troll farms are based in India and Pakistan. In fact, one of them, one called
Adam. Sorry,
this is crazy.
I want to keep going. I just love. You are getting really into the bot farms.
I do think
these days.
I think we need to confront this.
I
was waiting for like a New York Times article.
We have to fight the bot farms. You're absolutely right, Adam.
Well, so the guy, there was a huge right wing influential Twitter account called Inevitable West, and it was all about saving Western civilization and blah 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 blah. Turns out the guy behind it is an Indian crypto scammer. Literally like a guy from India it's
what?
And these bot farms are not easy to infiltrate, but once you find them and you hire them, they're actually quite effective. And we saw it in this is why the Blake Lively case.
Oh, they were pushing. Yeah.
PR firm hired to make her look bad allegedly by Justin Baldoni, right? And what they did was they started planning stories online. Blake Lively's a terrible person. I met Blake Lively at a restaurant. She never tipped. Blah. Here's a clip of her in an interview where she's awkward about being pregnant.
I'm gonna send a bot firm after you.
But you could. That's the thing.
I will. No,
people
but for real,
like, who the hell is this guy? Why does anyone care?
Yeah, Adam Wilde has weird socks. There's like 7,000 tweets a day. Yeah, Adam Wilde should wear real socks.
Can you imagine a very benign bot farm?
I can. I'm gonna start the GoFundMe now. Yeah, it's not an epidemic. I don't know. Like it's a huge thing because they're also spreading misinformation and false false narratives all over the world.
Yeah. So what'll happen too sometimes, and this is some of the articles I've read on it, and there are surprisingly few. That okay, let's say you're a left-wing troll, okay, and your job is to make the right look bad. Here's how the right's bad, and they're doing this and they're doing that. What you will do sometimes is also have an account that poses as the right and does obnoxious stuff so that your left-leaning Twitter account or your right-leaning Twitter account can go, see, the other side's so stupid, even though you were the one who was planting it. So it would be like Jax has 2 Twitter accounts. One of them is a Toronto Maple Leaf obnoxious fan account. The other is a anti-Toronto Maple Leafs account. Okay, the Toronto Maple Leafs account that Jax loves, that Jax is trying to put that out there, convert more people to being the Leafs.
Got to get them all.
Jax will post something ridiculous that the Montreal Canadiens fans, quote unquote, have done, and be like, look, see, this is why you need to be a Leafs fan, because these guys are dumb. That's what they're, it's insane, and it's messing with people, and it's messing specifically with old people. And we've talked about this before, right? You got to talk to your parents about this crap, because there's a lot of this stuff is just being generated by people who don't live here, who are getting paid to do it in another country on the other side of the world. And that is, and it also doesn't help that, you know, one of the owners of one of the major platforms, several of the owners of the major platforms are like, okay, we're going to just, instead of being agnostic, we're going to align ourselves politically with one particular party.
That's corrupt, one could say. But like, it's also not even the information that they're receiving. It's the information that the older folks are not receiving in general. I spoke to a family member the other day, and they were speaking about Charlie Kirk, and I, expressed my disdain with all of his ideologies. And they were like, oh, I didn't know that about him. I didn't know that he, didn't believe in systemic racism or that he hated trans folk. And I was like, how do these people miss it? Like, and they just thought, oh, I just thought he was a young politician. And that's like, it's the lack of information that they're getting as well, or the misinformation about people, or so it's
flooded.
You've been on Facebook lately, by the way?
I haven't. My Facebook account's actually locked. I don't know what happened.
I do. But I know what happened.
What happened?
You forgot your password and you messed it up because you're terrible with passwords, and I love you.
I
locked out of heaven.
It was locked out. So I've been locked out of Facebook for 6 months, and I'm like, I don't know. I know that you went through hell to try to unlock your Facebook account, and I'm just like, I don't have the time and I don't care.
After my dad died, Steph, do you know the story?
No, I don't.
After my dad died, I was in some sort of grief wave, and I changed all my passwords. But because I was in a grief wave, I didn't remember any of them. And then one morning with Adam, I had to I tried to get in touch with Facebook. Like, I couldn't get onto any of my things. Like, Bell Media had to get their tech support to help me. I couldn't get it into any of my accounts.
Oh my
God. You should write down your passwords. Shut up. That's so dark.
Well, do you think I want, because you had to get a phone number, did you not?
I had to get a phone number, but Adam, I love you. This is not the first time you've been locked out. I remember you.
No, but
the
account is actually locked. Like, it's locked. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need it.
You're an influencer. Like, you need access to that.
Do I need it?
Yes. For back-end analytics.
I guess I got to call that damn Facebook number. Shit.
I'll help you. We'll figure this out. I've been there, and we're in this together.
Maybe they knew about this podcast and they're trying to shut us down because we're too dangerous.
Well, they're too wild.
We're too dangerous.
Adam Wild left.
Anyway, my message in this is just this. Remember that most of what you're seeing wasn't generated by a real person.
Mm-hmm.
And with AI now, it's so much easier to create these bot accounts. Yeah. And it's really easy to pick them out. And I can, they've done a lot of research on troll farming. You'll see a lot of, there are actual sites that you can run things through and go, is this AI or is this not? Yeah. And a lot of them will have the same message over multiple different things. So sometimes you'll see something happen and it'll be the same message. Other times you're going to see it worded weirdly because they wrote it in their home language and then put it through Google Translate. So just be aware of that stuff, because most of the major accounts that you follow on X now, which have the blue check marks, they're paid for. So they're not real.
Which is, leads to a bigger thing where you can now get verified, so that it was helping folks who shouldn't be verified. But a quick thing that I told my my aunt, and she was like, "Oh, that's easy." I told her, I was like, "When you're on Facebook, because you want folks to be critical thinkers and be looking at their sources of their news, but sometimes it's a bit harder." Mm-hmm. So I was like, I told my aunt, I was like, when you're on Facebook, just look at the bottom and you can see the bottom left of that little tab, and it has to say the website on the bottom of it. And I was like, if it looks like it's sketchy or if it ends in like anything that's like not a .com, not a .ca, like even an IE, which is like Ireland, like I was like, just stay within North America and maybe stay with trusted sites like, CBC, CTV, things like that.
Can't trust them.
No, can't trust them. But I was like, things that that you can get on your TV. And she's like, okay. And that helped her because she was going to like, she was deep in like some like.
She's deep in some stuff.
It's
amazing how quickly it happens.
I have no idea how you aren't infected by malware, my dear. Like just infected. Like she's click-clacking all over.
Did you see this picture of Jesus created out of Coke bottles? It's like, no, Nancy, that is AI.
Yeah, it has 15 tabs that came out from Northern Africa.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah. But no, just like, she was like, oh, it always has to say it. Because it's word salad to them too, right? Because there's so much information. But I was like, always look in the bottom left of the little tab that you see on Facebook, and it'll say the source. And she said, cool. And I'm sure she's still getting hacked, but at least I tried.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did. But that is a conversation you need to have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Our parents were told to have conversations with us about web safety. Now it's your turn. You have to have conversations with your parents about web safety.
My parents didn't. I was having like cyber sex in my basement at like 14.
I did that too in those weird MSN chat rooms.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to do. And I remember being like, this is, I think about it now. I'm
were
like,
you
oh
having
my
cyber
God.
sex?
Yeah, I think I did it once. And I was like, I didn't know what to do.
I did it once. That's not true.
No, it was. And then I think my parents caught me. They were like, they like went through my stuff because they had access to my computer. And I remember they printed out the conversation.
And they shamed you?
Put it on the kitchen table. Oh yeah. And they're like,
this
is, and I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't like I wrote anything like crazy. Listen, look at me. Do you think I'm good at dirty talk? Do you think I was good at 14? But for sure, there was some fucking weirdo on the other end being weird.
It was me.
It was probably
It was me. Oh, I was down there. I was moving and grooving. I was all over the net.
Were you
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just a maven.
I don't know if I should be talking about this.
The internet.
Yeah.
I listen, I think we kind of let it all hang out on this show.
Yeah. So. I also, which is apparently a very common thing in the queer community. I used to, when people would say ASL, I would say, like I would, say 14 Canada, but I would say male because I wanted to like chat with girls, but I didn't know that was kind of gay, So I didn't know how to express that. So I used to say my name was Adrian.
Adrian? Do you remember any?
Or Rick.
Do you remember anything about Adrian that
he was a swimmer?
Okay, like competitive. So great body, right? Yeah. What else would you tell people about Adrian? Like where would Adrian, what did Adrian like to do other than swim? Like was that Adrian's whole life?
Adrian was blonde.
Blonde. Okay.
He was blonde. He played guitar.
Okay.
When he wasn't swimming. I have never told, I'm like crying because I've never told anybody this. Yeah. He was taller. Yeah. He just liked hanging out with his friends. He likes video games. He liked The Sims.
He liked The Sims.
He was so he was me except a boy and athletic
and blonde
and blonde and probably stable home life. Yeah. So
that is funny.
But I didn't like I wasn't like cruising around too much as Adrian.
No.
Yeah.
That was just like for just specific people.
I was having cyber sex with both Adrian and Jacqueline.
Do you think that there's anybody that talked to Adrian, who's going through their life right now going, I wonder what happened to Adrian?
Probably. I got in trouble one time. Somebody was like, I know that you're fake because my mom told me you're fake. And then I ghosted her. She lived in Indiana. We talked on MSN. No.
Because those MSN.
ICQ. And then she was like, you're like a liar. I don't know what I said, but obviously I wasn't very believable. And then she's like, my mom says that you're not real. And then they probably thought I was like somebody creepy and old. And I was just like this like scared les in Canada.
For anybody that doesn't know, ICQ was like the original social media chat room.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it was a chat room. And it was somewhat anonymous. And what was interesting about it, I remember
it was very anonymous.
My buddy had it. I didn't have it. Because I wasn't allowed to have it on the computer, right? Well, back
Marilyn was running a tight ship, man.
Tight shit at the Dennis household. Yeah.
God.
And I remember too,
Colette wasn't.
You have to remember too, if you downloaded a program back in those days, you had to think about what program you were going to delete. because there wasn't enough memory on the computer.
True,
right?
true.
So like, it's like, oh, if you have this computer game, like you're gonna have to delete the other game that you liked because you didn't have enough, no space.
Gotta get rid of Roller Coaster Tycoon today, I guess.
You got the Sims expansion, it's coming.
I never had the expansion. We simply did not have enough room.
Oh, okay. Fair. Well, this is the point. So my buddy had it. I remember we were like grade 7 or grade 8 or something, and trying to talk to girls in university because that's what you do on a Saturday afternoon when you're tired of playing road hockey. And so, oh yeah, it might have been like grade 6, grade 7. We were 12, 13 years old, and
getting it in.
And this, no, it wasn't like that. It was more like the initial like getting to know. And I remember this girl was like, yeah, I go to Carleton University, which is a university in Ottawa in Canada.
You're like, I'm 6.
And we're like, and so my buddy's like, well, what do I say? I'm like, just say, yeah, me too. Right. And then she's like, no way, what program? And then now you have to remember, this is pre-Google. So you couldn't Google what programs they had at Carleton. Like there was none of that. Like it was like Ask Jeeves. Like there's no, they didn't have like a
Alta
website
Vista.
or anything. This is how old I am, right?
Yeah.
And so you're like, and then so he said something, I forget what he wrote. And she immediately knew that we were, and she's like, you pimply-faced loser high school kid, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'll never forget his face. He's like, she doesn't even know we're not in high school.
Like little boys.
Yeah, man. This is what we did.
You were teenage boys and I was posing as teenage boys, and teenage boys were just running amok, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. All of us teenage boys, Jack's included.
Yeah. Adrian and the boys.
I have to tell you, I respect the fact that you will say that.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of people who will not say something like that.
I'm regretting it a little bit in my head right now, having a bit of a vulnerability hangover.
I just told you that I talked to a predator for whatever, and my parents printed out the conversation. Oh, is that bad?
I just told you.
The predator even sent me a photo, and it was a girl, and they're like, my parents were like, that's not this girl, right?
I was catfishing people as a man. There's like, but you see it. It's like on you. You've seen it though. There's those episodes of Catfish that like they go to meet like this woman has been in a relationship with a guy like from like Chicago for like 4 years, and they go find out and it's like this like little dyke, like dyke in like a good way, take it back way. But and they're just like so closeted, and they're like, yo, I'm so sorry, I just didn't know, because they don't know how to be themselves, right? But also at some point, like you have
to take responsibility for that.
Like, don't lie to women.
Yeah.
And so when I was 14, I shouldn't have been lying to women, and I'm sorry.
Jax, you were 14. I don't know. 14-year-olds do things that are wrong.
Well,
I don't know if people know this or not. You don't have to live in shame because of what you did when you were 14 and you learned from and don't unless if you were online right now catfishing people.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird, and you would end up on the TV show. And although I don't think that show happens anymore.
He's a real estate agent now. I learned yesterday. Neve Schulman.
Really?
Is in real estate, and somebody wrote.
I guess if you got a platform.
No, somebody wrote, the economy must be rough, and because he's like come with me like it's my first day as an agent.
Wow.
Yeah, Neve. Yeah.
Listen, man, television's a hard gig to keep.
It is a really hard, and also like most catfish is fake, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
Really?
No, I think that show is real.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I just told you an instance of it being real.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty easy to make it real.
To all the women that I lied to for 4 to 5 days, I'm sorry from my teenagehood.